Okay, we just got through watching a short little video on subjects and predicates. Now we're in our language arts notebook and we're going to write some examples and work on finding the subject and finding the predicate. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our title subject, and I'm just going to do the and symbol, and predicates. Okay, last week we talked a lot about fragments. Who can tell me what a fragment is? Kelsey? An incomplete sentence. So to have a complete sentence, you need to have a subject, which is what it's talking about, and a predicate is what it's doing, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to write a sentence and we're going to find the subject in that sentence and the predicate. So let's say a buzzing bee looked for nectar in the flower. Buzzing bee looked for nectar in the flower. You are writing this down, and then we're going to do the predicate and subject together. Okay, a buzzing bee looked for nectar in the flower. So the subject means, what is the sentence talking about? So what is the sentence talking about?
The bee.
The bee. So our subject, we can start with what it's talking about. That's the bee. And I'm going to underline everything before that. Even the adjective goes with it. So all of this is the subject. Okay, now a predicate is what the subject is doing. So what is the bee doing?
Look for nectar in the
Look.
flower.
So basically you find the verb in this sentence. In this sentence the verb is looked.
For nectar
Okay?
in the flower.
So I'm going to circle looked because that's my verb and I know that's where it starts, my predicate. Then everything else goes with that. So the predicate is looked for nectar in the flower. Okay?
Is it the subject and predicate?
Yes. You could put S or P, that way you know what you're circling and underlining. Okay? So the subject starts with the rectangle, which is B. We put a box around B, and everything underlined before that was your subject. Okay? The predicate is what it's doing, so we did the verb, it's looked, it's looking, so we circle the predicate, and everything after that goes with it. Okay? These two parts cannot stand alone, okay? You have to have a subject and a predicate to make a complete sentence. That's why we just said a fragment, because if I had just put looked for nectar in the flower, does that tell me who or what?
No.
No, you have to have a subject. It can't have a predicate by itself. That would be a fragment. Same thing with the beginning. If I just say a buzzing bee, that's just the subject. You have to have a predicate to go with it. Okay? So let's try another one, and I want you to see if you can do the subject and predicate on your own. My closet has lots of clothes in it. Okay, see if you can find the subject and the predicate in this sentence. Okay, what is our subject, Kelsey?
Closet.
Just closet by itself?
My closet.
My closet. So my closet is your subject. And then the predicate would be what, Evangeline?
Has
Just has by itself?
lots of clothes.
Good. Has lots of clothes in it. All of that. Okay, so this is the subject, and what we underline is the predicate. How about we do it like that? We can box the subject and underline the predicate. Okay, next one. The gardener watered her flowers. The gardener watered her flowers. Box the subject, underline the predicate. Got that, Brandon? Okay, who wants to share what they put? Kaylee, what'd you put?
The gardener is the subject and watered flowers is the subject.
Predicate? Okay, good. The gardener, she said, was the subject. Watered her flowers is the predicate. Very good. Ready? Okay. The little puppy barked all night long. The little puppy barked all night long. Subject
Yes.
and the predicate. What would the subject be, Gregory?
Subject will be a little puppy.
Very good. The little puppy is your
And then the rest
subject.
will be barked all night.
Okay. Barked all night long is your predicate. Okay, let's do one more because I think you guys pretty much have the hang of this. Number 5. The flag blew in the wind. Brandon, you have yours? What's the subject, Brandon?
The flag
The flag.
is the subject.
is the predicate. Good. Blew in the wind is the predicate. Very good. So the subject is what it's talking about. The predicate has to do with what it's doing. Starts with the verb in the sentence. Okay? Are there any questions about subjects and predicates? Okay, now what you're going to do with your puzzle pieces, you'll glue in. Well, first you're going to write on them, because if you try to glue first, you might rip a hole through your paper, okay? So subject, you're going to come up with 3 sentences. For your sentences, you need to write the subject on this side of the puzzle piece, and for your predicate, you're going to write it on this side of the puzzle piece, okay? So you need to come up with 3 of your own sentences. The subject, what it's talking about, and the predicate means what it's doing, okay? You may use these examples that we wrote down to help you get started, but just make sure you're not copying something we've already written. Okay, come up with your own sentences. Because you have 3 puzzle pieces. A new subject and predicate for each puzzle piece. Okay? So if this were my puzzle piece and I did this last sentence we did together, I would put the flag over here on the subject puzzle, blew in the wind for the predicate puzzle piece. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I did that on this.
Okay, so I would do the little puppy for the subject, barked all night long would go on the predicate puzzle piece. Okay? Write your sentences and then glue them in